This week, we're heading up to the Heights.
We're taking on New York's next big neighborhood, where sushi is topped with guac and plantains. French toast is finished with caramel, and desserts are decked out with brown butter ice cream. We visit a haunted mansion and take a trip to medieval Europe, then we top it all off with the best pizza in the entire tri-state.
You're off the hook. Plus, we have found a chef worthy of a road trip, and we're heading just 15 miles north to the historic village of Dobbs Ferry.
Mommy, New York starts right now.
Walking around and feeling fine. Sun is shining in my face. Crossing the street, cars are passing by. Thinking how I love this place. Can you feel the wind in your hair? I look out for you, I'll be there.
The neighborhood of Washington Heights is located north of 155th Street to Dyckman and is nestled in between the Harlem and Hudson rivers. It is named after a famous Revolutionary War site, Fort Washington. But if you think Washington Heights is only for Revolutionary War buffs, think again. This is destined to be one of New York's next big neighborhoods. And while the culinary scene makers have already made their move, before we get to the food and the fun, let's get our facts straight.
During the Revolutionary War, Fort Washington was a fortified position near the north end of Manhattan, situated across the river from Fort Lee. General Washington believed that these two twin forts would be nearly impossible to take and would serve to protect the lower Hudson from British warships. But that was not the case. November 16, 1776, the Battle of Fort Washington saw this port fall to the British at great cost to the Patriot forces. It was only after 7 years, when the peace treaty was signed, could Washington and Governor George Clinton triumphantly reclaim the fort after the last British forces had left New York. By the mid-1800s, wealthy New Yorkers were building their summer estates here, and by the turn of the century, Washington Heights became a destination for many waves of immigration. In the early 1900s, Irish immigrants moved to the area. European Jews went to Washington Heights to escape Nazism during World War II. In the 1950s, Greeks moved to the Heights, and the community became known as the Astoria of Manhattan. And by the 80s, the neighborhood became mostly Dominican. In fact, Dominicans make up the largest percentage of foreign-born population in New York City today.